Let's talk about something that most people see all the time but don't fully understand: heart rate zones. If you've ever been on a treadmill or an elliptical machine at the gym, you've probably seen a chart labeled Zone 1, Zone 2, Fat Burning Zone, Cardio Zone, and so on. I used to see that stuff and just blow right past it, not giving it a second thought. For years, I thought fat loss was all about pushing hard, sweating buckets, getting your heart rate pounding. But I've since learned that the truth is actually the opposite. You don't need to kill yourself in the gym to lose body fat effectively. In fact, doing too much can work against you. So today, I want to break this down in a way that's clear, practical, and based on science, but also from the perspective of someone who's lived it. I'll explain what the different heart rate zones mean, how to calculate them, and most importantly, which one is the sweet spot for tapping into your fat stores without triggering stress hormones like cortisol. Let's get into it. What are heart rate zones? Think of your heart rate zones like gears in a car. You wouldn't start in fifth gear. You build up from first. Each zone represents a different level of exertion and uses different fuel sources. Zone 1 is like idling. Zone 2 is cruising. Zone 3 is picking up speed, and so on. These zones are especially important when you're trying to optimize your workouts for specific goals like fat loss, endurance, or peak performance. Understanding these zones gives you a framework. Instead of guessing how to work, you can train with intention. And when it comes to fat loss, intention matters. The 5 heart rate zones. Let's break these down a little deeper. Zone 1, 50 to 60% of your maximum heart rate. Very light activity, good for recovery, circulation, and warm-ups. Low effort, easy breathing. Zone 2, 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. This is the fat burning zone. You can maintain this for a long time. It strengthens your aerobic system and trains your body to use fat as fuel. Zone 3, 70 to 80% of your maximum heart rate, often called the gray zone. It improves fitness, but it's too intense for fat burning and not intense enough for peak conditioning. Zone 4, 80 to 90% of your maximum heart rate, high intensity zone. Your body primarily uses sugar as fuel. It's tough, fast paced, and unsustainable for long periods. Zone 5, 90 to 100% of your maximum heart rate. Maximum effort. You can only hold this for short bursts, used for sprints or power intervals, mostly anaerobic. Which zone burns the most fat? All zones burn calories, but if you're targeting body fat, zone 2 is where you want to be. At lower intensities like zone 2, your body uses fat as its primary fuel source. At higher intensities, your body prefers glycogen, stored carbohydrates, because it's faster and more immediately accessible. That means that even though you might burn more total calories in higher zones, you're burning more sugar than fat. Also, training at higher intensities increases cortisol, a stress hormone that can stall fat loss and even promote fat storage, especially around the belly. Zone 2, on the other hand, allows you to burn fat efficiently while keeping your nervous system calm and your hormones balanced. How to find your fat burning zone. To find your personal fat burning zone, you first need your maximum heart rate, which is estimated by 220 minus your age, for me at 57 years old. 220 minus 57 equals 163 beats per minute. Zone 2 is 60 to 70% of that number. 60% of 163 equals 98 beats per minute. 70% of 163 equals 114 beats per minute. So my zone 2 range is between 98 and 114 beats per minute. When I'm out walking or jogging, I try to keep my heart rate in that range. I use a smartwatch or heart rate monitor to track it, and it keeps me dialed in. If I go too high, I slow down. If I'm too low, I pick it up slightly. My personal experience with zone training. Before I discovered zone 2, I did what most people do. I went hard. Boot camp classes, treadmill sprints, intense circuits, and I'd be soaked in sweat and totally spent, but not really seeing results. I thought I was doing what it took to burn fat, but I was mostly just burning myself out. When I learned about the heart rate zones and started focusing on zone 2, it was a game changer. Not only did I start to lose fat more consistently, but my energy improved, I recovered faster, and I didn't feel wiped out after workouts. I started doing longer fasted walks or light runs in the mornings, and I finally felt my body was working with me, not against me. How long should you train in zone 2? The magic number is around 45 to 60 minutes, 3 to 5 times per week. You can start with even 30 minutes if you're just beginning. The key is consistency. Your body adapts over time. The longer you stay in zone 2, the better your metabolism becomes at using fat for fuel. One of my favorite strategies is doing zone 2 training in a fasted state. First thing in the morning with no food, just my 2 cups of coffee. That helps your body shift into fat burning mode even faster since insulin levels are low and glycogen stores are down. You don't need to run. A brisk walk that keeps your heart rate in zone 2 is one of the simplest and safest ways to improve your health and body composition. How to track your heart rate. There are several tools you can use. Smartwatches, Apple Watch, Garmin, Fitbit, and others all show heart rate in real time. Chest straps. These are more accurate, especially during exercise. Brands like Polar and Wahoo are solid options. Cardio machines. Many display heart rate if you grip the sensors, but those readings can be inconsistent. Personally, I use my smartwatch and I make it a habit to check in every few minutes to make sure I'm on target. It keeps me accountable and ensures my workout is doing exactly what I want it to do. Okay, so let's wrap it up. 1. Find your maximum heart rate. 220 minus your age. 2. Calculate your zone 2 range. 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. 3. Train in zone 2 3 to 5 times per week, ideally 45 to 60 minutes. 4. Do it fasted if possible. Helps access stored fat quicker. 5. Use a heart rate monitor to stay in the right range. 6. Avoid overtraining. High intensity isn't always better. The zone 2 approach is not flashy. It's not intense, but it works. It builds a strong aerobic foundation, trains your body to use fat as fuel, and supports long-term fat loss without frying your nervous system. If you've been stuck doing hard workouts with little to show for it, give zone 2 a shot. Train smarter, not harder, and let your body burn fat the way it was designed to. Let me know your thoughts below. Talk to you soon.